Welcome to my absolute disastrous mess of an arcade room. Not normally like this, but I have been tinkering around tonight. There's Acto 1, which is, might get around to building one day. A bunch of toys, a few other cabs. You can see I've been inside my PCB box, and this is kind of the reason for what I'm about to show. This is where I keep all my vertical PCBs. In this box it's not open. Underneath this stuff it is the horizontal ones. The reason the Ghostbusters car is there is because it's normally sat on here with some other stuff. So getting into this box, it's not a pain. It's not exactly a first world problem, but it's a couple of minutes to get bored out, fanny about, you know, piss around with the settings, bang it in the cab. Because I don't want to waste 3 minutes doing that, I decided to try one of these 6-way jammer adapters, so you can put 6 boards in one cab in theory. This should be safe because it only powers one board at once as opposed to all 6 at the same time, which would be bad. But the problem I found was inside an Astro there's actually not a lot of room, but so I took the 6-way PCB. It came with 6 extension cables to extend the jammer loom, so I've taken one of those and extended the jammer loom in there, which means I can move the 6-way adapter into the back right because there's enough length on the cable, disable one of the 6 slots on using the dip switch, and use the other 5 cables to put in 5 boards. So in here, look away now if you don't like, it looks to be a bit of a Tetris of boards and a bit of a mess. You can't really see to the back. There's Taito board at the back. That's not touching, so I've used the power of blue tack. So there's no metal touching metal. That one's not touching at all. And in the coin door, you can see the PGM, and there's Ketsui, which isn't in use at the minute. There's 5 boards in there. Beauty of all this though is, as I'll show you in a second, it's 5 boards, but it ain't 5 games. So I said at the minute this is running the PGM. So the PGM is kind of like a, is it Chinese? I think it's Chinese. It's a bit like a Neo Geo setup. It's a bit like an MVS. It's a red board there, cartridge based. The carts are very, it's basically a Neo Geo. I mean, look at it. It's exactly the same, just red, not black. Bang that in and play the games. But these cave shooters that are on it, Ketsui and ESP Galuda, however you want to say it, and one of the Dodon patches is, well, they never officially came out on cartridge, but they came out on PGM based hardware on a PC, on dedicated PCBs, and some clever people have figured out how to make their own conversion carts, and whether you agree with it or not agree, it's effectively the proper hardware running the game. So it's by and large identical. Some of them have a bit of sound issues. This has a bit of a fuzzy startup, but I'll show you. So yeah, just that bit's a bit of a mess, but the rest of the game's perfect. You see it's running fine. It's a great game. Like all cave shooters, it's reasonably difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it's semi-manageable. It's a cool game, good mechanics. But now with this 5 switching, I can hold down these 2. Let's see what's next and see if it works. So this is my second game. It's in the cab. Look at this banging classic. It is Super Contra. Love this game. It's the one that everyone forgets about because it didn't really get a home version, and the SNES one was so popular. Contra Spirits, and the first one was the one that got put onto flipping everything in the 80s. This one seems to just never really had a home port back in the day, so it's a cool game. I remember it from my local arcade. So I'm glad to have this. This is the original board, so that's game number 2. See how easy that was to switch there, that's good. Good, eh? You might be thinking, why don't I just get a Mister, or why don't I just get a flipping Pi or whatever. Just don't really want one. I like using the proper boards. Anyway, let's see how the next one is. Oh, and I've got a Mister anyway, it's over there. But it's running Commodore 64, which is what it's meant for, in my opinion. Why wouldn't you want to play a whiz ball on a CRT without a tape? So the next one is pretty cool. This is a Konami 573 board. It's PlayStation based hardware, and this board had a lot of, you know, the drive going. You know, it's got a CD drive. This is PlayStation based. It ran a lot of the B-Mania, however you say, you know, the dance games, but also has on it, when it eventually loads, 'cause it takes a little while for it to run all the checks, and that's, you know, proving a point really, that the board's not powered, because each time I'm swapping to a board, it's booting, you know, from the beginning. They are not on in the background. See, the LCDs are not on the F3 selector either at the moment. Poor old new Astro's switched off at the minute. Could do. It's usually running Batrider, which is the, as you know, the greatest vertical scrolling shoot 'em up of all time. That's a fact. No disputes. Capcom Darksoft. Oh, here we go. So this is wicked. Let's get this. What's on here? Let's just exit that. Yeah, this one takes the longest to boot, which is a bit annoying. It's partly down the drive, having to load it off the drive, I think. But Konami in the arcade, hey, never bettered. So this is Konami Classics board. So where you've got the PGM running one game, then there's Contra, that's the second game. This is a multi-board, an official one. It's not a hack or anything. This was in the arcades. It's a compilation board by Konami. I kind of love it. When you start it, you can have Scramble, which is awesome. You can have Gyrus, which everybody loves, and it works fine on a normal joystick. You know, the whatever it's called, stick that was on Monroe stick, doesn't need it. And I know loads of people go, yeah, it does. Well, it's fine. I play fine. Time Pilot, amazing. Road Fighter, amazing. So many good games. I mean, I think this came out on the PlayStation. You can get this on PlayStation. This actually a port of this. I can only assume it's emulated in some way, shape, or form using PlayStation hardware. But I mean, it's the arcade version. It's brilliant, and they're all on there. So that's a bunch of Konami games. Nice sound effect. And then the next one. So here is, can't deny this, another absolutely amazing game. Should boot up pretty quick. There we go. Probably recognise this one. If you do, you're a fine human being. If you don't, get on any emulator and get this played, because it's fucking amazing. Outzone. Again, it's original board. It's a proper toe plan board. This is an absolutely awesome game, which I don't remember from childhood ever. This is recent to me, recent couple of years. I always knew it existed, but I just never had much opportunity to play it, because again, it's never had a home version, and I don't really do emulation. Partly because I've only got my work laptop and it doesn't let me install anything. So there's Outzone, so that's the fourth board, and then the final one. It's all working very well, which is surprising, because I only did this about an hour ago. So now we're running the Taito F3, you can see the LCDs come on, and this is the Darksoft F3. That means got every single F3 game. The F3 ran a bunch of reasonable games, but also some absolute classics. So here's Gunlock, which is a layer section, which is also on the Saturn, and what a game this is. And the soundtrack's incredible. There's also Gekirinden, there's quite a few. There's a Space Invaders game, like a cutie sort of parody style Space Invaders, forget the name. Running it on one of the horizontal cabs. You can run elevator action returns, the puzzle bobble games, all sorts. It's a really cool, and the dark soft stuff's all good. But you just pick what you want. So let's go to, let's say, oh my goodness, Gekerinden, which is another good game. Press the button, it crashes. ZX Spectrum style. Like when you used to load a tape up and you get to the end and just do this and not load. And if you don't remember that, you haven't lived. And everyone used to say, get a cup of tea while your Spectrum's loading, but when you're 8 or 9 years old, you don't drink tea, so you go and get an orange juice. So anyway, I'm just rambling on while it loads. Doesn't normally take too long. Yeah, it always looks like it ain't working. There we go. Let's just turn on. The good thing about the F3, the Darksoft, I don't know if the original carts do this, I assume they do. It boots into straight in the menu, as you can see here, like the settings menu, which means this board in the cart is right at the back. And I like to have the demo sound off when I'm in the arcade because I've got 11 machines in here and I like to hear the one I'm playing. So let's just turn that off. It does save the game that you and the settings that you pick for next time, so let's get out of there. Yes, I'm very sure. Yeah, it's a beauty setup. I've got the Darksoft CPS2 as well, with all the CPS2 games, so Street Fighters and Marvel, etc. And over there in the Neo, there's Xenocrisis, but I've got the Darksoft Neo cart as well, so the Darksoft advertisement in this garage. It is a garage, it's been converted, looks like a room. Cool, yeah, so there you go, there's that one running. Let's have a quick bring that one on. It's a cool game, this. Don't understand why the boss battles don't have their own music. It's just the level music doesn't change for the bosses, which is a bit odd. But yeah, it's a bit Tatsujin-y, Truxton-y. Presumably some of the staff I think might have come from there, but I'm sure some angry nerd will correct me if that's totally wrong. But yeah, so that's it. Like I say, let's go back to the start, and now it'll rotate back, so we'll be back at the PGM. There's 5 games, well 5 boards, but actually when you think about it, if you include the Konami one, it's probably about maybe 20 good games overall, which you can just now change between. They're all running on the original hardware, which is kind of how I like it. Nothing against emulation, I don't know, something just feels more right using the proper hardware, I guess. Mister's getting there. I think that's the closest to feeling no different that I've ever played. But I haven't got the Mistercade because it seems to be out of stock everywhere. I'd love to get one and bang that in one of these cabs one of these days. Yeah, and there it is. I think it's pretty good. It's worked out alright. Normally when you do something like this, it all goes tits up and after it stops working after 5 minutes, but you know, touch wood. Touch wood. Touch scud race. That's wood. It looks like it's all working out pretty well so far. There you go, and that's tonight's experiment, big success. And now I'm gonna tidy up and maybe leave that out because it looks like it's calling out to be made. If you made it this far, well done. And yeah, cheers. See you later.